And so when we get to the vaccine, there was a good tweet yesterday from Mrs. S. Do you understand how this new RNA vaccine works? I didn't think so, because if you did, there was no way that you would ever consider it. And there's an article from RT, a doctor, Malcolm Kendrick, doctor and author who works as a general practitioner in the UK's National Health Service. He says, as a doctor, people ask me if it's safe to take a new COVID vaccine. Given that criticism is risky, and he's putting his career on the line, he goes, here is my very careful answer. He talks a little bit about the history of the vaccine. He says that now we have a thing called a messenger RNA vaccine, and it's totally different from the other vaccines. Yeah, he's kind of, vaccines, oh, that's cool. But he said, this is very different. RNA is effectively a single strand of DNA, the double helix that sits in our cells and makes up our genetic code. Many viruses are made up of a single strand of RNA surrounded by a protein sphere. To enter the cell and to take over the replication system, they make thousands of copies of themselves, and then they exit the cell, sometimes killing the cell as they do. So that's why I say many of these viruses are precursors to cancer. They become cancer. They operate in many ways similar to cancer. He goes on to say, sometimes they don't kill the cell, sometimes they exit more gently. He said, COVID-19 is allegedly an RNA virus. Knowing this, rather than attempting to create a weakened virus, which can take years or break the virus into bits, the vaccine researchers decided to use its RNA against itself. And to do this, they isolated the section of RNA which codes the spike protein, the thing that the virus uses as a key to enter cells. They then worked out how to insert this small section of RNA, messenger RNA, into the cell, where it takes over a part of the protein replication mechanisms that sit inside all cells. They turn the mechanism into a 3D printer to manufacture this spike protein. These spike proteins then leave the cell somehow or the other. This bit is unclear. The immune system then comes across them, recognizes them as alien, and attacks them. In doing so, antibodies are created, and the immune memory system kicks into action. If later on a virus gets into the body, the immune system fires up and attacks the remembered spike protein. Hopefully, this will kill the entire virus. Oh, this is all really clever stuff. What, as they say, could possibly go wrong? Well, the first thing to say is that with something this new, we really don't know how. It could be that absolutely 100% safe, and we're told that none of the mRNA can get into the nucleus of the cell, where it could become incorporated into the DNA. Well, I hope so. Maybe not. Could it trigger an immune cascade? Well, I hope not. Yeah, that's exactly it. How do you stop this? How do you limit that? How, when you start reprogramming the cell at the lowest level, how do you turn that off? And will it even work? Well, here's an idea they think will work. If you're scared of that, you have John Delaney, who had an aborted run for president, says, let's pay everybody $1,500 to get the vaccine. We'll call it a stimulus check. The airports want to coerce you with health passports. And then you have the head of the World Health Organization suggesting that the COVID restrictions will still continue even after the vaccine. Oh, that's interesting, because the CDC is saying the same thing. When you look at this and they start talking about, well, how many shots will I need? Well, all of them require at least 2, but, one of them has only a single shot. And who should get the vaccine first? Oh, well, we got to get to the most vulnerable, the elderly. And, of course, Trump is incentivizing that. He's going to, if Cuomo can get an Emmy Award for killing people in nursing homes, Trump can at least do that. But then this is what the CDC says. Do I need to wear a mask and avoid close contact with others if I've received both doses of the vaccine? Yes, says the CDC. Yes, you'll still need to wear a mask. You'll still need to wash your hands. You'll still need to stay 6 feet away from people. When can I stop wearing a mask? We don't know. We don't have that information yet.